Hello students and welcome back in my channel. Let's make it possible. So today we are going to study cell, the fundamental unit of life. Students, what do you mean by cell? Not that physics wala cell, that battery. No, we are talking about biology cell. So cell is the basic unit of life through which we exist. Means combination of cell creates tissue, combination of tissue form organ, combination of organ form organ system, and from whole organ system our human body or a simple body organism is formed. So let's first talk about discovery and history of cell. Cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. And he mentioned his experiment in a book named as Micrographia. Got it? Next is he used a simple primitive microscope because his experiment is impossible without use of microscope. So he just used a magnifying glass and magnified the cork. Then he identified the dead cells and observed that a honeycomb-like structure is there. That a honeycomb-like structure he named as a small little room, and later on he supported that this honeycomb-like structure is what? It is cell. He used self-designed primitive microscope. He experimented over cork in which he noticed a honeycomb-like structure and had tiny compartments known as rooms. Next is he observed dead cells which appear like small empty room. बेटा cork होता है जो tree होता है, hardwood जिसे बोलते हैं, hardwood means जो permanent tissues होते हैं वो later on form hardwood, green नहीं brown wood, उसको आप ऊपर से cut करिए, ठीक है? वहाँ से उन्होंने cork निकाला and उसको further अपने experiment में use किया. Okay, so now he is Robert Hooke, and here's a book named Micrographia in which he just elaborated each and everything about his experiment. Next is there are some more terms in 1831. Make sure you have to learn the means time, means this era, as well as what was discovered by whom. So nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown when he was experimenting over orchid roots. So here the great legend Robert Brown. Next is cell theory. Students, cell theory is comprised by three great scientists, Schleiden, Swan and Virchow. In 1838, M.J. Schleiden suggested that all plants are composed of cell. Here M.J. Schleiden is, and he suggested that all plants are composed of cell. Whereas in 1839, T. Swan suggested that all animals are made up of cell. Got it? So they both given a basic theory, but an add-on is there, and that add-on is by Rudolf Virchow. In 1855, he described that all these cells arise from pre-existing cell. अगर मैं आपको स्टोरी सुनाऊं of existence of earth, तो existence of earth start हुआ था एक समुद्र से, ठीक है? And that sea, there a primitive organism exists, means a protoplasm known as amoeba. हम सब अमीबा से एग्जिस्ट हुए हैं, लेटर ऑन डेवलपमेंट्स होती गई बिकॉज ऑफ चेंजेस होते गए बिकॉज ऑफ एनवायरमेंटल कंडीशंस, एंड दैट्स व्हाई आपकी ये थ्योरी एग्जिस्ट हुई, ठीक है? ओके स्टूडेंट्स, नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज प्रोटोप्लाज्म. प्रोटोप्लाज्म वाज डिस्कवर्ड बाय J.E. Purkinje in 1839. All these discoveries you have to memorize it. Okay. Instruments for studying cells. Whenever you will come to school, or even I'm going to make one video over microscope. I have microscope here, a compounded microscope, in which I will elaborate the parts and how we, you can say, extract out an enlarged image of that little specimen. Got it? This is what? This is light microscope. But this one is simple and this one is compounded. This was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665 during his experiment. Later on, many scientists discovered this compounded. So, let me explain you what is the basic difference between these two. Here, we have a single magnifying glass. Here, you can put specimen. This is magnifying glass. You just put your eyes here and you can watch an enlarged version of it. That's it. But here, we have eyepiece as well as here one more lens is there, objective lens, stage, and then two fine adjustment knobs, which makes the you can say the living tissue or the dead tissue to magnifying up to 100 times. Yes, sahi suna aapne, up to 100 times. Okay. So this one is light or magnified microscope. These are of two types. I have already explained you. Simple and compound. A simple light microscope is similar to a magnifying glass, which is used for enlarging and magnifying smaller objects. Got it? Okay. Next is we have compound microscope, eyepiece and objective lens. Got it? From look, eyepiece enlargement is about about 10x to 15x, but that object lens is about 100x. You can enlarge it 100 times. Two optical lenses combine together and produce magnified image. And what we have to do, we have to mount a specimen over a glass, put it over the stage, and here we have one mirror, and then fix that light, means focus that light over this specimen and watch through here eyepiece. Got it? So next is electron microscope. Electron microscope was discovered by Knoll and Ruska. Some interesting names are there, Knoll and Ruska. Yeah? Okay. So what is electron microscope? In this, we are able to magnify that simple image, that simple cell up to 5 lakh times. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, डॉक्टर हमारी बोन में फ्रैक्चर हो गया है, तो वो क्या बोलता है कि आप जाकर के एक्सरे करवाइए. वाई? बिकॉज उसको ऐसे प्रॉपर नहीं दिख रहा है कि आपकी बोन का कितना पार्ट ब्रेक हुआ है, बट थ्रू एक्सरे ही इज एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई कि एग्जैक्टली कितना पार्ट आपका डैमेज हुआ है. गॉट इट? सेम इसमें था. इसमें क्या था कि इसमें था कि इलेक्ट्रॉन माइक्रोस्कोप में हाई वोल्टेज इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का हम यूज करते थे, एंड एक यू कैन से ऑन अ स्क्रीन वी जस्ट here on screen we get the image. Got it? Magnification power is from 1 lakh to 5 lakh times. Okay, so next is multicellular and unicellular organisms, because these cells combine together to form unicellular as well as multicellular. In unicellular, one single cell is there. For example, amoeba. Yes. In multicellular, all the cells combine together to form multicellular organisms. Here, excretion, egestion, respiration, digestion, each and everything was done by a single cell named as, you can say unicellular. Means, example in amoeba, pseudopodial movement leads to formation of that vacuole which intake food, and then with that pseudopodial movement, what do we do? Means we just observe that amoeba extract out what? Waste. Got it? Okay. For example, amoeba, bacteria, Chlamydomonas is algae, minded, paramecium and yeast. In this single cell, it is capable of performing all the necessary life activities, whereas in multicellular organisms are those organisms which are formed from lots and lots of cells, and here cell division is there, means Of course, cell division is there, growth of cell are there, and every cell have its unique function. For example, I can speak through my mouth, got it? And inside my body, many you can say cell organelles are there. For example, ribosomes. Ribosomes whose function is to synthesize proteins, got it? Next we have, look, this is the diagram of paramecium, amoeba, bacteria and yeast, which is unicellular, and here we have multicellular from 10 micrometer to up to 50 micrometer. Got it? This is what? This is multicellular cells. Now we have division of labor. Again, by chief, a specific function to a specific cell. For example, synthesis of new material like protein is done by ribosomes, synthesis of food by chloroplast in the plant cell, and removal of waste substance from cell by lysosome. All these cell organelles we are going to lead further. Okay, after then we have shape of the cell. All these shapes of the cell are same? No. For example, look, this is oval and its shape is about spherical. Then elongated means nerve cell. This is nerve cell. Next is spindle shape, like our muscle cells are what? Spindle shape. Cuboidal, germ cells, beta, germ cells are sexual cells. And those sexual cells are cuboidal in shape. Biconcave disc shape means RBC. Look at this. This is biconcave disc shaped. Last is no definite shape, white blood cells. White blood cells have amoeboid shape. What about size? Do all these cells have same size? No. Here, you can say a very informative information is there. First is the smallest cell. I would like to explain you that we, you can say measure cells in the micron unit. Got it? So, smallest cell is PPLO. PPLO means microplasma. Its full form is pleuropneumonia-like organism, which measures from 0.2 micrometer to 5 micrometer. Got it? Here it is 0.5, not 5. Largest cell is ostrich. This is ostrich and this is PPLO. Longest animal cell is nerve cell. I have already showed you in this previous slide. Longest plant cell is Bohemia nivea. Pronounce it again. Bohemia nivea. Largest plant cell, cycus ovule. Ovule is what? Female reproductive part. Longest unicellular plant is this one is Acetylia butyllaria. Got it? So all these information is very, very, very important for you. Last but not the least, we have prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. So students, now we are going to discuss prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Students, pro means primitive, karyon means nucleus. Here primitive nucleus are there and here modified nucleus means later on nucleus are there. Size is generally 1 to 10 micrometer, whereas in this size is generally 1 to 100 micrometer. A true nucleus is absent here, that's why it is known as prokaryotic. A true nucleus is present here, that's why it is known as eukaryotic. Here RNA is present, whereas here RNA and DNA both are present. Nucleolus is absent here, whereas nucleolus is present in eukaryotic cells. Membrane-bound organelles are absent in prokaryotic, whereas are present in eukaryotic. Students, I am going to elaborate this membrane-bound organelles in my next video. So stay tuned for that. Next is cell division is by fission or by budding. In this, cell division is by meiotic or mitotic. Means here asexual, here sexual as well as asexual. Means both cell reproductive modes are used. Vacuoles are absent here, whereas here vacuoles are present. In this, no cytoplasmic movement is there, but here cytoplasmic movement present. For example, here in prokaryotic few bacteria are there, whereas in eukaryotic we human beings means the complex version is there. So students, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this video, thumbs up and do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.